Hello everyone, I am Dr. Eric Morrison. This is 7 Under 3, and I'll be covering trading education, more specifically Forex swing trading, using the TC2000 platform. Hello, this is the week in review for the 21 Forex currencies. I'm going to start off with the Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. As we close the week, we had a short. Initially, everything was green, everything is up until the weekly Heikin-Ashi turned red. So I changed this to a short, and we went ahead. Once that order hit the weekly low, it came down for a nice gain. So we had two orders, and we were closed out for a nice gain on the Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. And as you can see here with the weekly, it is hovering around the 200 on the weekly Heikin-Ashi and on the weekly price action, so we have to be careful in trading in this area. Aussie dollar Swiss franc, we had a short at the weekly low. We went ahead and was stopped out for two red candles south of the RL10. We had one order, two order, and we were stopped out at break even on the second order. Overall, good trade. Aussie dollar Japanese yen, we were able to get it along. We had everything green, everything up, and as you can see here, two orders, and we were stopped out for a nice gain here. So, and we were on three orders, and we were stopped out on two. Good closeout for Aussie dollar Japanese yen. Aussie dollar New Zealand dollar was just phenomenal. This trade initially hit the weekly high and continued to rocket up for a nice gain up there and a nice close. More than likely, this will be an emerging dragon, and for next week it went from summer to fall back to summer, which shows a significant reversal and more action to the upside. But as you can see here, this is where the weekly Z3 excursion was, and look how price respected that. Pretty interesting on how price respected the Z3 excursion right at that weekly Z3 excursion. So we're going to see what happens to price for next week as it responds to that Z3. But this is a phenomenal trade for the Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. Aussie dollar, US dollar, everything is green, everything is up. And as you can see here, we had an initial trade we were initially stopped out at and kind of closed around break even. Aussie dollar, US dollar, we had an initial loss on this trade. Initially went ahead and stopped us out. Did not trade at that point this particular currency going forward. Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, initially hit the weekly high and was stopped out at the RL10. We have a potential for a collapsing dragon. We went from winter to spring back down to winter. This collapsing dragon goes when we're looking at the MACD 1030 for potential short for Canadian dollar Swiss franc. We also have, as you can see here, we have initial momentum to the downside with a collapsing dragon, and as you can see, it has a daily momentum candle signified here for more price action to the downside. So we may be doing a daily bracket to the downside on this particular currency. Canadian dollar Japanese yen, did not trade this because of Z3 no trade, and we were right at the 200. Looks like it just did a pocket trade, and we could have a potential for a J-hook formation, large J-hook formation for Canadian dollar Japanese yen. We'll see what happens, but this would have been a nice phenomenal trade if we went ahead and traded this. And I just made a judgment call on this, and I could have done a daily bracket here for a nice gain all the way up to this Z3. But as you can see here, we had a hammer here followed by two shooting stars, rocketed north. Swiss franc Japanese yen, another great fantastic trade. Everything is green, everything is up. RL10's in the summer season, all the Heikin-Ashi are up. As you can see here, it went back and we were stopped out at the RL10. Fantastic trade. Euro Aussie dollar, we had two green candles north of the RL10. We took it and we were stopped out. A little more break even plus dinner for two around the RL10 on Friday. Euro Canadian dollar, we're in emerging dragon, and as you can see here, it had a little bit of a hiccup here going from summer to fall to summer. But as you can see here, we have a daily momentum breakout here for the upside, so we'll consider this daily bracket on Sunday. We were stopped out of this trade for a long on this particular thing, but shows potential for a nice J-hook formation here within the week. We'll see. Euro Swiss franc, we had two long trades in here, even though it was choppy, right? Everything was green, everything is up. Heikin-Ashi was up. Initial was break even plus dinner for 2. Then we did a reversal long on the weekly low, which which bounced for a nice break even plus dinner for 2. So we did 2 good trades on the Euro Swiss franc. Euro Japanese yen, everything's up, everything is green. Nice trade. Initial bracket trade followed by an RL10 swing high, then a weekly high for 3 trades, and closed out at the RL10 for a nice gain. Euro New Zealand dollar, another fantastic trade. Hit the weekly high, went up, hit the RL10, was stopped out. We closed out at the high for this particular trade. I did not move it from the RL30 to the RL10, so we weren't stopped out when it came back down, but went back up and closed out for a nice gain. US dollar, everything is up. Heikin-Ashi is up. We had a nice gain. We had 2 green candles north of the RL10, and we closed out on Friday for a nice gain. New Zealand Canadian dollar, I did not take this trade. Looking back, could have had a nice gain here, or if you continue to follow it down for another nice gain. But here, from here to here, the risk to reward was not that great here, so I did not take that particular trade. But as you can see, it broke to the downside. Right after a bounce on the weekly 200 moving day average, both on regular price action and on the Heikin-Ashi. Swiss franc, New Zealand Swiss franc is a nice trade, but I didn't trade these because of the overall volatility in this. As you can see here, this was an arrow formation which showed a lot of volatility to the downside. So I didn't trade the New Zealand Swiss francs. However, if you did, this would have been a nice closeout for a nice gain this week. New Zealand Japanese yen, another nice trade. If you would have traded, kind of chopped around a little bit, but overall kind of stayed around consolidation area there. Didn't really move left to right, but I didn't trade New Zealand Japanese yen, this with all the New Zealand pairs. Same thing, I didn't trade this. However, nice breakdown past the weekly low for a short. If you took this trade for a nice close below the week. And now we have our first indication that the uptrend has stalled. Right, so we need to respect this. When the Heikin-Ashi and average momentum on the weekly has turned, this is a top. So we need to go back to weekly high longs, weekly low shorts. US Canadian dollar, everything is down. Heikin-Ashi's down. We're in the winter. Nice breakout trade plus an RL swing low for 2 orders, then to 3 orders, and we were stopped out at break even. So fantastic trade. On the 3rd order we were break even, but fantastic trade for US Canadian dollar. US Swiss franc, same thing, broke down, continued to break down, did not hit our 2nd order, but closed out while we had our stop here at 20. So I was thinking that it would continue to move down, so I gave it a little breathing room at the hump of the dragon here. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4 moving averages and all that to provide the resistance I needed to stay in at a little less than break even. But nice gain. US dollar, Japanese yen, we were stopped out of this trade. It did a reversal, broke the weekly high, and we had our stop at the RL 270. So did not do a reversal, kind of just hung around the weekly high at this point. As you can see here, there is a significant V action here, a reversal, which signifies a potential bottom for US dollar, Japanese yen. And now we have a green Heikin-Ashi candle. So the downtrend has halted at this point. So folks, that's all I have for the week in review. We're currently conducting a Forex bootcamp and a Forex intermediate course. If you're interested, click on the link below. But remember, ruthless risk management. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll see you on Sunday. Well, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button below and the subscribe button. And if you want more information on TC2000, I have an affiliate link below. If you open up a TC2000 account, you will receive a $25 discount using that link. Thank you for your time.